Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got some new prime times as well as some new, what I'm calling charity superstar origin cards that help bring up some of the lesser used X Factors that haven't really done well this season to a little bit higher overall. So if you've been holding on to some of, again, the less popular X Factors this year, looks like some of these cards are getting boosted by EA from just random superstar origin cards. So we'll break all those down like we always do. Guys, make sure you check out my podcast with Kesso, another great NHL content creator, one of the best players in the world as well. It's called Coffee and Shell, and you can find it on Apple Pod as well as Spotify or anywhere else you listen to podcasts. It's called Coffee and Shell, and we talk about HUT all hour long, answer listener questions as well, and we have it every week. So make sure you check that out. All right, guys, let's get into today's content. I'm not going to lie, all of the prime times today are just not very good. I mean, Tarasenko and Demko, you might be able to use Demko and net, but there's other options that are very cheap, like Markstrom, for example. But we'll take a look at the new Tarasenko because that is a card that doesn't have an X Factor. That is one of the more popular ones. So we'll see how that one has played out. And it's tough. Some of the days that are just slower than others, so we'll take a look at this Tarasenko. He's got Spark, which is very tough to activate. There's not a lot of cards that you would rather have Spark over Distributor or Fly the Zone, and that just makes it a little bit harder. But if you get it activated, he's got 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 89 on speed and agility. He's got just around 90 on the shot hand stats at 89 as well. We'll take a look if there's any up in the auction house right now. That probably isn't, not yet. Not a very expensive card, though. I would not blow a lot of money on that. I would probably look and see if you could get it for the bare minimum because it's just not all that great. We'll have a quick look at the 84 Dmitry Orlov, and honestly, for free-to-play players that are having a hard time finding other than base card defensemen, this Dmitry Orlov, if you have buzzing activated, isn't bad. 88 speed, 87 acceleration, and 85 on the body checking at 5'11 is a pretty nice counter to the fact that he's only 5'11. His slapshot power 86 is nothing, but you don't take a lot of DDD one-timers in NHL 22, so all around, this isn't an awful one if you are looking for a very cheap left-handed defenseman to upgrade from that base card team. Cards that are going to shine out today. So first, we'll start with the 84 Oliver Ekman-Larsson because I'd much rather have him than Dmitry Orlov. But this is a very good in-between. There is not a lot of great defensemen that are kind of that bridge the gap between master set player and the base cards that you can get. This one is 88 speed on someone who's 6'2" is very good. He's got decent hand stats. And, I mean, his defensive awareness and stick checking aren't that great. But, again, there is not a lot of great options. If you can get Spark on him, that helps out his acceleration. So, again, tough to activate, but still, this is a decent starter left-handed defenseman that you won't have to pay a lot for him. We also got an 88 Alexander Steen with Wingman. He's got shutdown as well. 87 speed, 89 acceleration with Wingman activated, 87 without it. He's got mid to high 80s shooting, hand stats all basically 90. Just kind of a ho-hum centerman you could actually use. I know he's listed as a left winger, but 80 faceoffs is fine. I'd much rather have him at center than I would on the wing just because his speed isn't exceptional. There's other cards that are around the mid-80s that I'd rather have, like Kuznetsov, for example, or, I mean, technically base McDavid as well. But nonetheless, at 88 overall, this isn't a terrible centerman. I probably would rather have the Akil Thomas Superstar Origin at center instead, but just wanted to show him off. Alexander Steen was an awesome player, and he gets recognized here. But here is the highlight of today's release, and that is the charity cards for Elias Pettersson. He comes with Thief. This is actually a half-decent centerman. The only thing I will mention is that Pettersson cards, ever since he's come into the league, I just haven't been able to use very well, and he is 6'2", which is great, but he's only 176 pounds. He just gets bumped off the puck someone very easily for someone who's 6'2", and because he's not exceptionally fast, he doesn't like break away or anything. He looks kind of lanky. There are some players that love him, and if you are a fan of Elias Pettersson, this card alone could actually be used at center or wing. It's not bad all the way around, and he's got a high 80s shooting, so again, because 86s aren't that expensive right now, if he drops to anywhere near the minimum, this could be a really nice grab for anyone looking for a left-handed winger or centerman. And then we've got the 86 MIKA ZIBANEJAD. Buzzing gets him up to 90 speed with 91 agility, which is actually a pretty nice combo on this card specifically. He's very good. He's got great size, 208, 90 speed. Shooting's in the mid-80s, so that leaves a little bit to be desired. 88 speed, or 88 hand stats across the board, and decent defensive stats as well. Honestly, I'd much rather prefer Mark Scheifele, but this isn't a bad card at all, and honestly, it's better than the highest-rated X Factor card, which we'll get to now. So he does get up to an 86 now with Light the Lamp, as well as Applesauce and Booming Shot, Bombard, and Protector, so I'd probably go Light the Lamp here. His secondary synergies, though, it's probably Thief is what you want. He's got 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 88 agility, and then his shooting's okay. His hand stats improve a little bit from the synergies, but as you can see, like, the 86 card is actually better than this ZIBANEJAD, which is pretty rare because his superstar abilities aren't all that great. So if you've got an untradeable one, let's say you got him in your starter pack, I don't even know if I would spend the... I mean, if you have collectibles from doing Hut Champs or you just have enough cards to make him, probably if you're very free to play and you have a hard time acquiring new cards, I guess he is pretty cheap when you consider just the collectibles. I wouldn't spend the coins, and you might as well if you've got him on your team still. He's got great size, I'll say that, and if you put Thief on him, he's a very good centerman. And then the other option is the 86 ELIAS Pettersson. So he has got Distributor getting 90 speed. He unlocks Gladiator, but I use Thief. And again, same situation. You could use him at center or on the wing. He's got 90 speed. If you have untradeable ELIAS Pettersson, I would definitely do these upgrades. Again, I would try and do it with collectibles and not coins. And hopefully this gets him going. I don't know. In real life, he's struggling this year. But as you can see, if he goes long enough, it doesn't matter. EA will find a way to do these upgrades where they get random event cards throughout the year. So you're pretty safe. But he's not an extremely good X Factor, but same situation as ZIBANEJAD. If you got him untradeable or you're a Pettersson fan, definitely do the upgrade. So guys, I thought I'd give you a little update on my team here and just what I'm doing. So Mario, in my opinion, the best right-handed winger in the game, and you saw in my video today, if you watched it, when I ranked all of the current best cards at each position, he is up there. I've also got Jack Hughes, who I'm getting up to his 92. I think he's very good. And I actually purchased Byfield, who will replace Akil Thomas. On the back end, Adam Foote is still unbelievable, and I have switched my lefties and righties so that they're on their strong side. I'm just not taking any one-timers, and defensively, it does seem to help out quite a bit. And I've started using X Factor Price and Net, who has been very, very good. So just keep that in mind. The one thing I do want to mention, guys, when upgrading these under 22 cards, don't use collectibles. So do everything in your power to buy the player as well. So let's say, I mentioned this before, it will cost you about 50 to 60,000 coins to do the choice pack to make these cards. But what I want to, that's fine. If you have to make them to make sure you get them, that's okay. But as you're doing these cards will be replaced at some point in the year. If you are playing all year long, these cards will fall out of your lineup. You want to make sure you're doing the coins for these upgrades, because at least at some point you'll get half of your coins back. If you do it with collectibles, all you're doing is getting half your collectibles back, and then all you've got is collectibles to make more of these 92s that you're replacing because they've kind of fallen out of the pack in terms of the cards that are being released. So just be aware that what I'm doing right now is I'm selling all of my 80 to 82 overall cards for the 1,000 coins or whatever, 1,200 coins, and then just buying the upgrades. So I thought I'd give you guys the little heads up on that. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.